Welcome back to Fire and Smoke, New Ronne. We are Philip,
Abby,
Blake, Ethan,
also known as Dungeon Master.
Avis Merlot,
Devin Merlot,
Neil.
On the last episode, the old timers had killed the Lord Admin, and we're standing in a room with his guards as they've broken down the door, looking at his transformed body, the true body of the kid, as this was some version, a far future version of the kid. They convinced everybody of the deceit of the Lord Admin and set up his head scientist to help guide people through a transformation of Queen Maud. They spent a couple weeks setting the community up for a better future, but before they did that, they went to comfort and connect with Kid, who had run off, distraught over the way the fight went down, killing the Lord Admin, showing what he really looked like, everybody being horrified of his appearance. Neil and Devin using it to dissuade people of Lord Admin's credibility. They had a heart-to-heart moment in which they reassured the kid that they liked him no matter what, and they all came together. After saying their goodbyes at the end of the period of downtime, helping transform the colony, destroying the rest of the timers, informing the head scientist, now leader of Queen Maud, about the access tunnel down to the underground where whatever resource, whatever power the Lord Admin was sending his right hands to get is. Saying their goodbyes to Jonathan and Edna, who would cross the continent as the merchant and the pig to inform the communities of this place and allow people to travel with them back there if they wish to, and if they didn't, giving them the resources, the modified crops to help transform their landscape and have thriving communities where they are, so nobody would have to feel stuck on this continent, even though it is under quarantine because of the corrupts. Using Devin's mold earth, his magic pushing away the dirt of the collapsed access tunnel entrance, they made their way into a dark, carved tunnel of stone with a shaft at the end of it that had a service elevator that went down into the darkness. As they descended, in a moment of pure darkness, they began to fall. When they slowed and stopped, each of them was standing in an empty elevator alone. Devin alone, Avis alone, Neil alone. Nobody sees anybody else, including the kid. Everybody exited to see a different scene. Avis seeing her son, Milo, in some kind of prison cell. But in adult version, that must have been some years later. Devin seeing a cold beach during the long night here on the continent sometime, with the stranger, not yet strange and glowing and floating and blue, but wearing the same rags, the same cloth poncho, the same glass pieces hanging from their belts, pulling to shore after a journey here. And Neil seeing a lone figure on a desolate landscape, a ghostly cowboy, asking Neil if he'd seen a man named Tu Tai Bao anywhere around here. And that's where we are now. Neil, you see the rolling hills of this place stretch out around you. The sky is dark, but this isn't the long night. You believe you're still in the thawed Antarctic. The terrain looks the same. The mud and stone earth looks the same. And it is dark like it's the long night, but there isn't fog around. Without the fog around, you look to the sky, but you see that it is dark and hazy and black for some reason. Along this barren landscape, you spotted a fire and approached it, a small campfire. Nobody sitting around it immediately, but as you looked around, you saw off in the distance where the light turns to shadows, a interesting figure. As you try to focus your eyes on him, you find yourself instead looking through him. He wears tattered black attire, and he seems to emanate shadow and darkness. You see his eyelids hang over empty sockets that seem to be filled with wispy black smoke that streams out into the night. He's resting back on his hands, sitting in the dirt. A ghostly horse, also translucent, white, beautiful, standing peacefully behind him. And he looked up at you as you approached and said,
"Hey there, how's it going? Hey, have you seen a man named Hutai Bao around here? I've been looking for him for a long time."
I don't know anyone by that name.
He doesn't seem to be moving. He's still sitting, relaxing by the fire. He's just doing it from a distance.
Neil walks over to the fire, watches the cowboy for a second, and then glances around again just to make sure they're really literally in the middle of nowhere.
As far as you can tell.
What year is it?
Friend, I have no idea. That stuff sort of blends together when you've been roaming this place as long as I have. Sit, relax. I'd love somebody to talk to.
Neil's pretty confused, but he'll go ahead and sit down across from the cowboy.
You sit in the mud, sinking a little bit into the soft earth. You don't feel the warmth of the fire, but it gives you a little twinge of nostalgia for a time not long past.
My name's Cassius. Cassius Reeds. What's yours?
I'm just called Neil.
Nice to meet you, Neil. What brings you around these parts?
I don't quite know how I've arrived here.
Well, that's interesting. Me neither.
Were you also somewhere else a moment ago?
No, when I think about it, I remember traveling for so long. I was trying to help my friends find somebody. I was roaming the landscape all around, looking for him. And I can remember myself over time coming here. But still, I don't seem to know how I got here. I'm not surprised to see you, and that's what I don't know about.
I was with my friends. They were right behind me.
What happened to them?
I'm not sure.
Well, what are you doing down here?
I came looking for answers to a time-related problem of ours. We had reason to believe the answers would be down here.
A time-related problem, huh?
Yes, me and my friends are accidental time travelers.
Wow, that's mighty interesting. I know about having problems with time, but not like that. See, I just keep going on. That's my problem with time.
I suppose I can relate.
I thought I saw it. A certain something in that middle face of yours. You've been through a lot.
Neil just nods.
I've been looking for this Hutai Bao guy to help out my friends. They're nice people. You probably like them too. But I've been doing it for so long. I don't even know how long. The time just melds and melts together. Couldn't tell you how long me and my horse been going about this. But I haven't seen anybody else in a long, long time.
For a long time, my only companion was my circuit. And I move a little bit so that Circuit can jump out of the bag. I built him a long time ago, and then we... And Neil's very confused.
You feel that breadth of absence in your mind about the time you spent with Circuit that you can feel the shape of, you know is there, but for some reason you can't visualize, can't bring up from your core memory any specific instances, things that were taken from you. But you have Circuit now, and Circuit hops out and onto your shoulder and nuzzles into your head.
He still has like the muscle memory, so to speak, for a robot to reach up with one hand and kind of run his metal fingers along the edge of Circuit's jaw.
The ghostly cowboy across from you turns his head and smiles at Circuit. Those empty sockets in their black smoke ever pouring out of his head regard the cat, and he says,
Sure is nice to have a friend. I can't tell you what I wouldn't do without my horse here. Take me a lot longer to get around, that much I know.
and he smiles.
Neil almost laughs, but it's pretty hollow.
You told me what you were doing here, but why are you doing it? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, my friends need me to get us back to our time.
Your friends need you too. Is that why you do what you do?
I don't know. It's a strange thing to be programmed one day and thinking the next.
Believe it or not, middleman, I understand that like you understand me. When you're single-minded, it drives what you do. And eventually, you feel like you're doing it because you're supposed to, even if you don't have that anymore. And you stop in your tracks and you look at your horse and you say, what would I do instead of this? Let me ask you. You and me, we keep going on. Long after.
And he twirls a finger around the landscape like he's motioning to this place.
Long after everybody else. If you're roaming a landscape like this and your friends weren't around anymore because they'll be gone one day and you won't be, what would you be looking for?
Well, I'm always happy to help. Neil narrows his eyes a little and his tone gets defensive. People don't always know why they do things. It's never that simple.
That's true. But really, I'm curious. If you were out on your own, if the stars were still around, would you look up at them? I don't know anymore what drives me to want to do what I want to do. Nobody does. But it's interesting to think about what you will do.
I don't think I care for the stars. I think I'm just not built to be alone.
Well, at the end of it all, maybe you won't be. Maybe you'll have me.
If it came to that, you're rather dry company, even for a cowboy.
I agree with that. Drier than the dust that used to cover my boots. But friend,
And he's looking at you.
Neil glances down at his feet at the dirt under him. Yes, Cassius?
I know it's tough to think about. I did it for a long time. But try to answer, because it seems like you don't want to. If you keep going on like you and I do, and I weren't there, and it was just you, what will make you want to keep looking for who Tai Bao, so to speak? Would you like me to tell you my answer?
Yes, I'd like that.
You see he shifts his weight a little bit as he sits up. You're not sure that he has weight, and he doesn't seem to disturb the ground as he does so. But he leans forward, and as he leans ever slightly closer to the fire, you see it a little bit harder to see him as he gets closer to the light.
For a long time, it was the idea of getting revenge. I was by myself. It was quiet, and I was alone, even though there were other people around. And in that time, it was the thought of getting revenge. even though I already got my revenge. That thought of getting it still kept me going. But after that, long after that, I had to wonder what it meant for me to still be stuck here, unable to move on like others got to. And I think for me, it's that journey. It's moving. Even if I did have to do it on my own. I just want to keep moving. That's why I'm still looking for him. Even though...
And he looks around at the dark landscape and shrugs. Soft smile on his face. Look of contentment.
I think I miss my work. I was good at it. I just enjoyed having something to put my time into. Something to work on.
So you like building?
I like to maintain.
Maintain is good. I like that. I like you.
I like you, Cassius.
I don't know if this whole thing is real, but I appreciate our conversation.
He looks at you and his eyelids squint, stopping the black smoke a little bit, cocks his head.
If we ever met before, you seem familiar.
I'm confident I would have remembered you.
Huh. Maybe not. But these things.
And he points up at his empty eye sockets and widens his eyelids so the smoke continues to pour out as he's trying to make eye contact with you.
They don't work quite like yours. I used to think that I saw people's souls because I could see where they were going after they passed. I thought what I traded was my soul. But after a long, long time, I don't think that's quite it. I see people. I see where they've been and what they've been and what they can be. What I really gave up back then was my past, who I was, and the possibility to be anything other than this, what I am now. I think I recognized something in you, vaguely, from the past. Not sure what, but it's interesting.
And what else do you see when you look at me?
I see somebody with a long journey ahead who's got a lot to discover about himself, despite all the time he's had so far. I think I see what you can be, and it makes me happy. And I'd welcome if we ever met again sometime out there on the range.
You see he stands up to turn towards his horse. The fire burns in between you, crackling, and he looks back as he's saddling up, and he says,
Neil,
Cassius.
good luck on your journey.
And to you, friend.
You see the horse moves on after he clicks his tongue and gives his heels a little press to its sides. And as he moves off away from the fire into the dark night, you can't see him anymore. He disappears. Neil, where you're sitting by the fire, after a moment, you hear a ding behind you.
Well, I turn around.
You see an open door with what looks like the service elevator on the other side.
I victoriously march back into the service elevator.
The doors slide closed, and it returns you to darkness as you feel the elevator start to move down. Avis, you've stepped out into this cell. You hear the soft shudder as the doors close behind you, and you turn around and see no door. There are bars on the window. Though it's bright and sunny out, it feels dark and dim in here with no fluorescent light overhead. The cinder blocks of the walls seems new you can see the moisture and the grime that will define what they look like over the coming decades. You see the metal bench attached to the wall, chains holding it at an angle, hangs heavy as Milo sits on it, and he looks up at you, making eye contact. He's wearing a jumper. It doesn't have a number on it. It isn't orange and baggy. It's just a simple blue thing with a couple buttons at the top. He looks like he hasn't shaved in a while. Scraggly hair covers his chin. His hair looks a little unkempt. And he looks up at you with a soft smile. And he says, "Hey, Mom. It's good to see you."
Is he chained up? Or...
He's not chained up. In fact, he scoots over a little bit on the bench and he offers you a place to sit down.
Milo, what's happened to you?
Well, things didn't go my way, Mom, you could say.
I know, I heard about it. Is it my fault? It's my fault, isn't it?
He looks down and his eyes are glancing at the floor. And he looks back up at you and you feel warmth in his face and in his eyes as he looks at you with reassurance, and he says, "I know you and Dad were scared. You were scared for me. It's understandable. Look where I am." And he looks around the cell. I mean, I'm not dumb. You raised me better than that. I don't blame either of you, and you shouldn't blame yourself, but this place might feel a little bit warmer if we were all in here together. Though, I'd hope, in that case, that we wouldn't be in here at all.
Well, I have to get you out of here.
I don't think so. I think this is where I am. It's good to see you. I don't know why I'm seeing you. I don't know what this is. But I don't think it's time for a prison break, Mom.
Does he know he's going to die?
He doesn't look very scared, folding his hands on his lap, and he looks content, and he looks happy to be talking to you. I kind of know how I got here, but Mom, what are you doing down here?
I just got on an elevator with your dad and Neil, and now I'm here, so I don't know.
Neil from the station?
Yeah, he's still kicking.
He is, but I didn't know he was able to leave that room. I didn't think that was coming out for a while. You know, old Neil still had that grudge for a long time. He complained about it after he'd had a few drinks. Didn't like being called old Neil. Mom, that's how you're here. But why? Why'd you get in the elevator?
Well, I wanted to get back to you, so I got in the elevator, and I got to you.
He puts his hands, still clasped together, between his knees a little bit, and he's like moving his thumb across his hand, kind of self-soothing motion. And he smiles, and he looks back at you, and he says, "I appreciate that, Mom. I don't know what's been going on with you. I know why you and Dad chose to do what you chose to do. I know you're always scared for me. You don't want me to do anything too dangerous. But you, I think, have been somewhere else. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure of that. Like I said, I don't really know what this conversation is. Maybe I'll wake up on this cold bench, and this will just have been a nice dream. But I'm glad, wherever you are, you're just trying to get back to me."
I truly don't know and can't tell you either why we did what we did.
I think it was fear. Like I said, everybody acts out of fear. Some people are just more scared from themselves than scared of not doing something. Nobody knows the future, and that's scary, and they act accordingly. I think that's why you and Dad acted how you did. I understand it. Can I ask you something, Mom?
Yeah, of course.
He kind of rubs his neck and thinks for a moment. You were scared of losing me. That's why you went down here. That's what you said, right? You wanted to get back to me?
Yes.
You've been through a lot. I can feel it. Do you think it's changed you?
It made me realize that I would never willingly or not do anything to hurt you.
He nods. You and Dad were scared for yourselves and scared for me. I was scared for other people. That's why I'm here. Do you think that you understand that?
I know I just support you no matter what you do.
I appreciate that, Mom. I do. But if I wasn't there for some reason, do you understand what it means for what you do?
Yes, I want to lead by your example.
Milo smiles and he says, I'm glad, Mom. And I'm really happy that I got to talk to you again. I was worried that I wouldn't get to. Avis, you hear a ding as a door opens in the side of the concrete wall.
Oh my god, I'm landing.
And you see an empty service elevator. Milo smiles at you, but doesn't get up.
Where my hug at?
With some tears in his eyes, he leans over to you and pulls you into a very tight hug. Lasts for a few seconds before letting you go.
I love you in every timeline.
I love you forever, Mom.
Then Avis releases the hug and gets into the elevator.
Milo continues to smile softly. His eyes look very tired. He looks like he has deep bags under them, but he looks content. And he doesn't look afraid, despite what he said. The doors of the elevator close as you move down. The light disappears, and you are in darkness as you feel yourself descending. Devin, you've stepped out to the sound of lapping waves as the small swells crash softly against the gray and black rocky shore. Heavy fog surrounds you like you're back in the dead middle of the long night. And you see just a little whiles away from you is the unknown stranger who first sent you all through time. It doesn't look like they're exactly the same, though. You see they wear the canvas poncho tied tight with a thick belt made of a simple rope. The canvas is sleeveless, and you see white bandaging with dark splotches covers their arm and shoulder and chest. You see they have high angular features as they are turning and anchoring a small wooden boat to the shore. It looks like a rowboat of some sort. You're not sure how they made a potential long journey in this thing. You see they have dark brown hair and soft tan skin. They do still have the colorful pieces of jagged glass hanging from their hip, from their rope belt, and they don't seem to notice you.
I guess we'll kind of like start jogging in their direction. Hey you!
You see, with a glance over your shoulder, that the door to the elevator has disappeared, When you look over your shoulder, you can't see far into the distance because of the fog, but you do see the edge of some structures that look like the new Ronne that you saw, but they look only recognizable in their structural support, the shape of it, because most things are collapsed rubble growing high with grime and sludgy fungus. Looks like a desolate, abandoned place. You run forward and say, "Hey, you," and the person turns around. You see soft eyes, dark brown. The person is thin, not totally frail, looks muscular. Their arms look tired. Their head seems to hang a little heavy, but they turn and regard you. "Oh, hello."
What's going on? I was just with my friends in the elevator, and now we're on the shore?
"I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with you. I didn't think anybody would be here. You were on an elevator. Why?"
I guess, in a way, because of you. You sent us to the future, and we were looking for a way to get back.
That's strange. It's a strange reason to be anywhere. Are you all right?
Even they think I'm crazy.
You ever think maybe if everybody's crazy except for you, then there's something else going on?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm the sane one. Everybody else is crazy. I feel all right, at least, but this isn't really making sense to me.
Well, that's all right. Would you like to walk with me?
Sure. Where are you headed?
They start trudging up the hill in a direction away from what you believe to be the former colony of New Ronne, further out towards the wastelands. Do you follow behind?
Yeah, I do.
You walk alongside this person, and they say, "Well, I've been on a long journey, but my name is Ela. What's yours?"
Devin. Nice to meet you.
"Right. Devin. I'm sorry, my mind is clouded. It's hard to remember anything. It's hard to know what memories I should remember. Things are dying here.
Yeah, I could tell.
My family died. Things can't really survive here. It's this bad everywhere." And they motion at the area behind you as you walk further away from New Ronne.
But what happened? Last I saw, there were crops thriving even during the long night.
I don't quite know where my journey ends yet, but I have some memories of it, of many different times, many different branches. It's so strange. My parents told me stories about this place. They said this is where it started. Something seems to be pulling me here. I do not think what you saw is the same as where I am. I think they are two different branches on the tree that grow further and further apart. That's why I'm here. My brother didn't get a chance at life. He didn't have long. My parents went before him, and I tried to take care of him for a little while, and they shake their head. I'd like to see him happy, have a fair chance, and not suffer because of the actions of other people in the past.
What happened? to him.
They motion around with their finger in an encompassing way and say, "World, this life, that's what happens." As you've been walking and looking at this person, you look around and you're unsure how or why, but you seem to have traversed a large distance while you haven't been paying attention. You've been walking for a few minutes, and you see suddenly that you're walking through what must have been Queen Maud. Likewise looks abandoned. There is no life here anymore. There are no crops. There's a barren landscape. Some structure still remains. Not what you remember. And as you're trying to come to terms with that, you suddenly shake yourself out of your stupor once again and notice that the two of you are on an elevator, a service elevator, and it's descending.
What's happening? This is the elevator I was telling you about.
The stranger nods. "I don't know exactly how it'll go down." They point at their head. "Everything is so muddled. But I know I had to go through the same thing. Same as you now. I don't know what it means for me." They look at their hands. "I don't think this is exactly what happened. Or maybe you're for me what I am for you."
That barely makes any sense. Without you, we wouldn't even be here.
"That's true." They look up and think for a second. "You know, I had a dream a little while ago. I was talking to my father. He acted weird, though. He talked in a funny way. He was sick. He was coughing. I can't remember everything we talked about, or why we talked about it. But you just reminded me of something. Something he said. The conversation seems distant now. But at some point, he was saying that a circle is a structurally sound shape. It is self-supporting. It has no faults or breaks. And just because you think in a line doesn't make a circle nonsensical. Can I ask you something, Devin?
Sure.
If you saw me again, what would you do?" And they furrow their eyebrows.
I think after all of this, I might thank you. Everything is working out as it's meant to.
That's true. It's always been true. The universe is a strange thing. It seems to self-correct in peculiar ways. You'd be surprised about the things that it can smooth over. It's like a tree that grows, but it grows with intention. Can I give you 2 pieces of advice?
Please.
They look at you earnestly. They seem tired, but it's very physical. I know myself very well. I can be stubborn. The second thing I'll say is, it's very easy to get lost. And there will always be things that try to stop you. Things that are scary. And I want you to know that I'm also scared. I think it's healthy. Neither of us can really know what the future will be like. I hope you figure it out along the way.
Me too. I think our fear might be a good indicator we're doing something right.
The light illuminating the service elevator, as it's been moving down, goes out, and you're in darkness, and it comes back as it passes another light, and you see illuminated you and the stranger again, and then darkness, and when light comes back again, you no longer see the stranger, but you hear their voice still next to you. Until next time, Devin. And then darkness. In the blackness, you feel the elevator continue to descend as it stops softly, deep, deep underground. As it comes to a rest, a soft light, dim and flickering, turns on, illuminates the old dark metal of the service elevator. Devin, Avis, Neil, you all see yourselves next to each other. The kid is once again standing with you, Avis. He looks at you and looks at you, Devin, and then at Neil with a fearful look in his eyes. And Avis, he grabs your hand and squeezes it tight as the door slides open, revealing a cavern, rock carved away, and the way ahead is dark. You all look at each other.
Did we all talk to the cowboy at the end of time?
Yours sounds kind of cool. No, I was talking to the person that sent us here.
I talked to Milo.
Oh. I'm going to grab Avis's hand. At a loss for words.
He's okay. I promise. I'm very proud of him.
I think we're doing the right thing. Here. Let's finish this.
We put our hands in.
Everybody on 3. 1.
Wait. Hang on. Did the kid have a 1?
Neil, you might actually think that as you glance down, and the kid looks, despite the fear, determined like all of you are now.
He probably got 1. All right. Let's not get separated this time. And he takes a step out of the elevator.
I will hold out my hand for Neil to join the chain.
We're already holding hands.
We're already holding hands, and the kid is holding Avis's hand.
All right, I join in.
You're the odd one out.
You guys tether together. You step off the service elevator onto the cold stone floor of this cavern. The blackness down here, devoid of light, envelops you all as you walk forward, unable to see what lies ahead. And that's all for this episode of Fire and Smoke, New Ronne. If you want to keep up with this show, follow us on our D&D TikTok account at Fire and Smoke Podcast. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say before the end of the episode?
Can't wait to do a dungeon crawl for part 4.
Part 4, pivoting hard, Dungeons and Dragons,
Old school dungeon crawl.
Classic Dungeons and Dragons, old school dungeon crawl. You guys have got it exactly right.
Who's got their 10-foot poles?
You're about to fight skeletons.
Extra characters prepared. Don't you worry.
You got 4 backup characters with no depth of story, no depth of character. And you're going to fight skeletons and mimics and slimes, oozes, an ooze that like takes up the whole cave and is moving at you guys. And you go, oh no, what do? We can't stab it. All that kind of stuff. It's going to be classic.
My new character's background is battle axe.
My story arc is sword, actually.
My goal is to kill a demon king.
Kill the dungeon.
The dragon in the dungeon.
The dragon in the dungeon. The dragon in the
Yeah.
dungeon.
I want to kill a dragon in a dungeon.
I tore out the flaws, bonds, and ideals part of my character sheet.
I can't believe that Jasper isn't in the afterlife with Cassius Reeds. Just hanging out.
That's not the afterlife.
It's not the afterlife.
He's still on the material
But
plane.
His whole thing is that he can't go on to the afterlife.
I know Jasper could have done that thing to hang out with him
I'm gonna give up.
for his whole life, for forever.
I'm going to give up all that stuff because I'm going to go chill with Cassius, actually.
I liked the bit where we held hands at the end.
Neil's finally getting back in the polycule.
It's true. It's been a while.
Oh yeah.
It has been a
There's
while.
not been any Devin Neil romantic
No,
tension
there
lately.
hasn't.
But you guys are back together again.
Now
Holding
Devin's like,
hands.
hold my hand.
Yeah, it's true.
You were like, I'm already holding on to my wife, but there's a free hand. What's that one for? That's my Neil hand.
Mm-hmm. So, are we gonna hear Eric's elevator experience next episode, or?
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Eric couldn't make it to D&D today. He got selected for jury duty. He was texting me about it. I think that he thinks he's on like jury duty the show, but I'm pretty sure he's not.
Well, they've already done it once.
They've already done it once, and I haven't heard anything about a season 2. And he keeps going up to like the bailiff and the judge and pretending like they're on camera and it's a TV show. And he's getting in like big trouble every time.
Yeah, they'll hold him in contempt.
Actually, he told me that James Marsden is there, but he kept insisting that it's real.
He was texting me about that. James Marsden is there. Eric was like, he keeps trying to tell me, this isn't jury duty. This is jury duty. I'm not on a show. This is jury duty. And Eric was saying he didn't understand, but he was going to try to get a cameo.
Maybe it's worth it for Eric to just keep it up in case it is the show jury duty, because then he might get $10,000.
That would be nice. And maybe then he would be able to afford to get over here on time. Am I right, guys?
Whoa.
Whoa. Anyways, we'll see everybody next episode. Slay
Boy,